Hello, my name is Young. I started learning English at junior high school in Korea. All I learned was grammar, vocabulary, and reading to get a good grade to enter a good college. As soon as I finished my community college, I joined Korean military. All Korean males have to accomplish their military service for at least 2 years. I was in tank division. One day there was engine malfunction. Nobody figured out what the problem was. So the chief commander called the manufacturer for service. Surprisingly, 2 American mechanics came to check the engine. They were asking us something, but nobody seems to understand what they are talking about. In 30 minutes, a professional interpreter from headquarters came. He spoke so fluently with such a confidence that we all flabbergasted. I thought a guy who spoke English fluently was genius, or someone who went abroad to study at least over several years. But he told me that he has never been to America and he just focused on practicing practical English. Wow, he's one of a kind. After being discharged from the military, on my way home on the train, I met a Canadian tourist. He wanted to know how to get to Daegu station. Most Korean passengers were afraid and shy to talk to him. In spite of my poor English, I approached him and answered where Daegu station was. Additionally, I explained Korean history, culture, the best place to visit, etc. It took a long time though. The fact that I communicate with English native speaker for the first time in my life made me thrilled and made me realize that there is nothing to be afraid of. As soon as I got on, I registered for English conversation class. Since Korean and English don't have any similarity, it was very difficult for me to have class with native speaker. So I gave up. I transferred college to 4 years college. I was surprised that the most students in this college were good at speaking English. Most students already went abroad to study or travel. Some of them had ESL course in the United States or Canada. Therefore, I decided to come to the United States in 1996 to take 1-year English language course. Once I met my wife here in the United States, I decided to stay here in the United States. The real life in America and ESL course are completely different. When I took some regular course at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, discussion with professor and even classmate was so difficult for me to follow through. I gave up and took nuclear medicine program in Manhattan. During the clinical training, I had really hard time communicating with staff, technologists, and doctors. I was so nervous not to make any mistake. I didn't want them to think that I was stupid. The more I tried not to make a mistake, the more silly mistake I made. When some staff technologists and even some of my classmates make fun of my English, I question if I made the right decision to stay here in the United States. The first year of clinical training was the worst experience in my life. Now I have lived in the United States for 20 years. I became a senior nuclear medicine technologist. I love to encourage my patients with all my heart. Sometimes I share about my story with my patient. While they are waiting, I sing some songs for them. They love to hear me singing and my story and wish me luck. I volunteered as a Sunday school teacher 20 years ago. Even though most students were Korean, they speak poor Korean because they were born in the United States. At first, I led Bible study in Korean, but I could easily see that they did not understand and lost interest in Bible study. So, I had to teach them in English. One of the students jokingly suggested to me, "Teacher, why don't you take an ESL course? I don't know what you're talking about." Never mind. It made me upset and discouraged me teaching. Despite this, I didn't give up. I've been sincerely serving for 20 years. Whenever I hear that I become a good role model to them, I'm very happy. Now I'm starting YouTube. This is new challenge for me. I'm kind of nervous. I hope this will be a great opportunity for me to help viewers to improve their English. English was the worst subject for me before, but now it became the most effective way to communicate with my coworker, my loving patient, Sunday school kids, and you. As one of my mentors said, your attitude makes an altitude. I totally agree with that. My man, don't give up, but grow up. Thank you.